guys, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking all about habits and bad habits to break. Now the thing about habits, whether they're good or they're bad, once they become habits, they are a lot harder to break or kick out of your routine because they have consciously become something you do on the regular basis. So I think if you're looking to kick a bad habit, rather than going cold turkey and trying to stop something, I think the best thing to do is to switch it for something that you consider to be a good habit, or something you've been wanting to add to your routine or part of your daily life. So for this video, I wanted to outline a few bad habits, things that were unhealthier, if you will, that I have pushed to the side and replaced with better things. So let us get started. All right, the first one I wanted to touch on is putting off the gym. I've always been a very, very active person, but my fitness journey always kind of goes like so. There's sometimes where I'm extremely motivated and I'm on top of everything, and there's other times where I'm just not. And I think that's just life in general. But one thing that has honestly helped me so much, my cardio days were always the days that I dreaded the most. I would put them off. I wouldn't want to go. But one thing that I have swapped and added into my routine to sort of incentivize me to hit the gym on my cardio days is to save all of the YouTube videos that I've been meaning to watch, things that, you know, are on my watch later list, and I will watch those while I'm doing my cardio. I can get on the treadmill, I can get on the elliptical or the Stairmaster, and the time goes by so much faster when you're actually enjoying something you're watching. So whether it's a TV show you want to watch or some YouTube videos or something like that, save it for those times when you're gonna be exercising or doing tasks that you don't want to do as much, and it's gonna motivate you a lot more to get at it. Because honestly, I can do 40 minutes on the Stairmaster no problem when I have a couple videos that I've been wanting to watch because I'm so into that the time just melts away. All right, so the next bad habit that I have replaced with a better habit is not planning enough. And I think this sort of became a really bad habit when I first became self-employed, because I just had all of this time and I could do things as I wished, if you will. And I quickly became to be very scattered with everything that I was doing. I would often be doing things very last minute. If I knew I wanted to get a video published on a Thursday, I'd be like finishing editing it and uploading it and scrambling to get it done on the Thursday. Whereas as time has gone on, I've really kicked that habit and I've learned to schedule out my time a lot better. I've learned to plan. I've learned to use Google Calendars to just set up an entire month in advance and really stick to that. And I find that makes life so much easier. It makes life so much more organized. And I like having all of my things in place and being super organized. And I think that goes with a lot of things in life, not necessarily just your work or those types of things, but being organized and on top of things is just going to rid you of so much extra stress. All right, the next bad habit is staying inside. Now, this is a funny one because when I started working for myself and being self-employed, I was obviously working from home, and you know, our winters here in Canada are not the nicest. And sometimes I would realize that I hadn't been outside in like 3 or 4 days. I was just, you know, at home doing my work routine, doing everything. There was no reason for me to go outside or do anything. And it wasn't until I got a dog that I was almost forced to go outside every day, because I take him for, you know, he goes out for 3 or 4 walks in a daytime. So going outside and having that time outside, even just the 20-30 minutes at a time, I realized how much I actually needed that to get outside daily, just to clear your brain, get some fresh air, and enjoy a little bit of nature for a bit. And that was kind of the flipping point for me. But I wanted to mention this in here because I think it's so important, as most of us are working from home now, to just get outside, even if it's just for a quick walk around your block daily. I think it's so unhealthy to be cooped up in your home for, you know, days on end and not even smell fresh air. So getting outside for that quick walk around the block, anything like that, is just gonna lift your mental spirits. All right, next up is the comparison mindset, and I think we're all very, very guilty of this. And this is something that I have really struggled with in the past, and I've gotten so much better at. And it's not something that you can just, flip the switch on. It really does take that practice and that time, but it's something I have been practicing, and it has now become one of my better habits. Whenever I find myself in that comparison mindset, I stop and I check myself. I realize when it's happening. I kind of ask myself, okay, why am I feeling this way? And typically it's because there's something you admire about somebody else. There's something that you see in them that you also see in yourself. So I kind of take it as that now, and I also just flip the switch a little bit. Instead of comparing myself to them, I give them a compliment. I think, you know what? Good for you. Like, you're killing it. You're crushing it in this field. You're crushing it doing whatever you're doing. And it just automatically lifts your mood a little bit more when you can appreciate what somebody else is doing, but also realize that you are your own individual and on a completely separate path. But I think it's important to realize that we can appreciate someone else's success or beauty or whatever without knocking down our own or making us feel a type of way. So I think when you're having those thoughts come up and you can recognize them, just flip the switch, give that little compliment, say, oh, wow, I really admire how you're doing this. Even if it's just to yourself, I admire how so-and-so does that. That's awesome for them. And then move on. You're you, focus on your own path. And last but not least, I wanted to talk about the cell phone, because I've gone through times where my cell phone has been glued to my hand no matter what situation I have been in, and I just think that is such a bad habit and something that needed to be broken. So as time has gone on, I've really started just leaving my phone when I'm with friends or when I'm with family. When I'm with other people, I don't like to have my phone with me, because I really truly try to be present in the situation, especially when it's with your loved ones. You want to be very present there. You don't want to be distracted by your phone, which you can do at any time, when you're on your own or by yourself. Things that I like to do if I am, over at somebody else's house, I leave my phone in my bag at the front hall, and that just makes it so much easier not to touch it. If I'm out at a restaurant with someone, just leave it in my bag and put it, on the seat beside me or on my lap, and that just makes it so much easier not to pull it out and touch it when it's not really in your direct sight. And I think that's something we all should practice a little bit more, is just being very present in your current situation and not having those distractions, especially when you're having those conversations with people. I think there's nothing worse than trying to speak to someone and they're not paying any attention to you because they're on their phone or they're half paying attention to you. It's not a nice feeling on the receiving end. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you got some insight in some bad habits, if you will, or things that I perceive as bad habits, and switching them over into those healthier swaps within your lifestyle. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I will catch you in my next